if you're a student starting a business, first of all, I just think it's just a great time to go do it. There's almost any time is a good time to start a business, and you might see different stats saying. Some saying that older people are more successful, or younger people are more successful. But when you're in school, you don't have any commitments relative to what it will be like later in your life. Most people going through school don't have kids, don't have. You have less hobbies and other things like that. It's just like a fact of nature that over time you collect more of them and you get more things that take your time. You have more, you have more birthdays to celebrate and more family. It's just over time you accumulate relationships and friends and other things that create commitments for you and take away from your time. And as a student, you have less of those kind of by definition. And so that's one of your advantages is you have no life. And you can work more than a lot of other people, and that's an advantage, and that's something you can play for your strength. There was a company last semester called Dabble that was creating a resizable PDA. So it was like a screen that you could have something in your pocket the size of a phone, and then you could pull it apart and make it a tablet, and it would resize itself and be able to use it that way, and then you could pull it apart even further and make it something that sat on your desk or you put on the wall or something like that. So that was really ambitious and involved, not just software and figuring those parts out, but also a lot of physical things of how do you go make this work. Another example, there's a great team this semester called Be a DJ, and they're developing. Basically, they want to make it so that when you go into a coffee shop, it's kind of like a virtual jukebox. But you don't even have to. It's not even one where you have to pay, but where basically the people in the coffee shop would vote for which songs to play, and that would end up changing what music played next on the station. That would work great at a fraternity party. It would work great at a coffee shop. There's just everyone in Austin is so supportive of everybody else and wants everyone else to be successful. And I'm not saying like people in Silicon Valley are mean or something like that, but really it's just a different attitude. And the typical story I hear is that in Silicon Valley you go up to somebody and you say, hey, I have this great idea for a startup. It's going to do blank, 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 blank. And they say, oh man, I know 4 other people trying to do that, and they've raised tons of money and they're way smarter than you. So there's no way you're going to be successful at doing that. And it's kind of discouraging sometimes, and it can be very cutthroat. In Austin, you say, hey, I've got this idea for this startup, and it's, wow, that's a really great idea. Have you talked to this person or that person? Have you thought about trying to do this? Or, wow, maybe I could help you by, do this piece of it. It's just a really collaborative, environment that's very supportive of startups and of other people. And people want Austin startups to be successful. And that's kind of like having the wind at your back in a race.